Hey guys, and welcome back to my Let's Play of the PlayStation 2 and Wii version of Sonic Unleashed. We have now arrived in Shamar. We've spoken to Professor Pickle, but I decided to just end the recording session there. Sort of. I did keep going, but I decided to hit stop on the recording session there because I mentioned in like the previous a few parts ago if I keep recording for a long period of time, the sound goes out of sync. Which I think I was able to restore, and it seemed like it when I listened to the finished product. The thing is that I didn't know how long I was going to be in this level for, and I was like, okay, I don't want the sound going out of sync, so let's just stop it and start it up again from here, because it is now time for what is. When trying to collect every item and getting the S rank, by far the worst stage in the game. Normally, it isn't too bad. It is probably the hardest S rank, but normally this stage isn't too bad. But when you're trying to get everything at once, my god. So, I mean, the practice playthrough was the first time I ever tried doing that. And remember when I said that I was actually able to do it for Dragon Road on my first try, still getting the S rank, but it took me like 6 tries here? That wasn't the case with Arid Sands. What you are seeing is the much better attempt, but it's probably still like the 8th to 10th attempt. I was in this stage for a good... Oh, I must have been here for about half an hour. No, 25 minutes. I was here for 25 minutes, I remember now. I'm not sure if that includes that first bit. So 23 minutes I was in this stage for. In the practice run, I was on this stage for an hour. But let's focus on that S rank time there. 2 minutes 40, and I was on this stage for an hour trying to get every single item with the S rank. It is that strict, and it's all because, mainly, just because of one single item that is in a very inconvenient spot. It's in a... The location is not hard to get to. It's a bit misleading, but it's not hard to get to. It's just the fact that if you take it, you then have to take the much longer way around. You can't... There is a massive shortcut you can take. But if you're going to collect the item, you've lost your chance of taking the shortcut. So in order to do all of this, firstly, make sure you go this way. So I recommend just using the Lightspeed Dash on those ring trails. If you can get to the right positioning, Lightspeed Dash there, I wouldn't recommend it. And I missed that item box so many times. That is what cost me my S rank more than anything. Just trying to get that one item box. There's only 3 in the stage. The first one is about halfway into the stage. Well, almost halfway into the stage. The second one was just there, just a little bit further ahead. There's only one more, but I hate it oh so much. And again, I still barely make this S rank. And this part is also a pain, just because of how the wall jump works in this game. And when it isn't that, it's the timing of those robots I can never work out. They're either gonna have their electricity activated when I reach them, so by the time I've got close enough, it's deactivated, I can homing attack. Perfectly fine. Other times it's gonna be the opposite way around. I don't know if they're loaded in the moment the level begins, and it's just a matter of your timing. That's the best guess I can make. Right, this item box right here. Ignore the dash pads. Then quickly get over here, slow down a bit, grab the item box as fast as you can. And now this part is very drift heavy. Let's go through here. We've got a big drift. Now this part's going to try and push you off. You don't really need to drift in that one. Or in that one. Boost. Boost like you've never boosted before. And you can just about make it. Trying to get all the items on this stage with an S rank. It's not worth it, guys. It is not worth it. Just come back to the level. Either collect the items first, which is what I normally do, or get the S rank first and come back for the items later. Whoops. And I hit the table again. That's it. I'm glad to say that that is by far the most difficult level in this entire game to get everything on in one go. There is a shortcut you can take in the level if you're not interested in the items, and really, you'd think that would be where the item is. But it isn't. It's in that little alcove. But you may have seen that there were some blue springs. And this is where they'll lead to. You don't see the whole thing. It's taken 5 levels. But we're finally learning how to do the Lightspeed Dash. Because in the HD version, this is where you would unlock the ability. Even though it has been necessary for several missions at this point, including the mandatory ones, they are only now going to teach us in-game how you do the Lightspeed Dash. This far in, and that includes that little area. If you go into there on the first playthrough in the main stage, you're going to need to use that Lightspeed Dash trail. And you're not going to... It hasn't told you yet. Even though you learnt the stomp before you went into Cool Edge, you don't learn the Lightspeed Dash until you're done in Cool Edge. In Arid Sands. Okay, sorry about that quick little edit right there. After editing out all of that failing of the main Arid Sands stage, I completely forgot that I failed this mission once. But I just let the time limit run out, so it would have just been a pointless waste of time showing it off. It was an abysmal run anyway. So now let's actually see the successful run. 270 rings, one of the biggest counts in the game. I think there's one in Eggman Land which is 280. But either that or it was tied and it's 270 again. But I think that one's 280. But yeah, nothing wanted to work for me the first time. Firstly, there was this wall jump, which still doesn't want to work, but... I actually remember, because I completely forgotten what the layout of the level is. I think this is all here in the main stage, but I tend to just successfully do the wall jump and restart if I fail. So I actually made it this time. Yeah, 270, certainly one of the bigger ones. So the Tide is the biggest, but I think it's the second biggest ring count in the entire game. And we've actually got 2 collect the ring missions here, so I guess they decided, well, we've given them the big one. Let's give them the smallest one next time. But before that, it is time for everyone's favourite mission. Don't break anything. Joy of joys, we all love these missions. Now, okay. This one's fine. This one really isn't a problem. I mean, normally the one in Cool Edge isn't a problem, but I failed that one. And Dragon Road, I failed that one too. But that's because the dash pad takes you right into one of the urns, which is stupid. So we go this way, we can skip a lot of the urns. We can't take the shortcut or anything like that. I was really nervous because there was no item to collect, and even though I did a test playthrough not too long ago, I couldn't remember if there was an item in this stage or not, but I'm pretty sure there isn't. I didn't pick one up. So hopefully it means I don't need to backtrack at any point, but I'm pretty sure this one does not have an item. One of the rare missions that doesn't, that isn't a tutorial mission. Instead we can just go straight for the goal ring. And fun fact, well, I don't think it's going to be that fun for me. That test playthrough was also sort of like the beginning of a little gaming mission I've set myself. And that mission is to 100% every 3D Sonic game, which I plan on doing for the channel anyway. But it's just like do it in my own time. I've done it for some of them, but not for others. So it would be... I've 100%ed this game plenty of times. Only 70 rings this time, and this one does have an item. I guess... Actually, this one has 2 items, I think, to make up for it. Does it have 2? I can't remember if it has 1 or 2. It might just be 1, and then it's just, I guess, We're gonna make up for it, so we're gonna have the item in the mission that normally doesn't have an item in it. You can't miss it, it's right there. Unless you jump over it. No, it's just the one. It's just the one item. Incredibly easy though. So I've 100%ed this game plenty of times. Heroes, of course, being the one I've played the most. I've done it twice for colours. I did it once without the DLC and then once with the DLC for 06. I've done it once, DLC included, for Unleashed. I've done it once, I think, for Generations. So I've 100%ed certain Sonic, and I've done it for Adventure and Adventure 2. So, and technically with Adventure 2, I've done Adventure 2 twice, but since the Chow data is his own save file, I didn't have to redo all of that stuff. Which I am incredibly grateful for, and I am probably going to still keep that data when I get round to doing them again. It's cheating, I know, but still. Okay, so now she's going to be nice to us and she's going to give me the CD. Samia she's so confused. She's got like 1,000 miles to her eyes are huge. I mean, both their eyes are huge, but still, they're freaking enormous. So I did, and I'm spinning a wheel just so it lands on a random game. So I had to do Sonic Unleashed as practice just because of the timing. So that was the first one I did. Everything else is chosen at random, and it landed on Shadow the Hedgehog. Oh man, I have not been having a good time. I've 100%ed Shadow the Hedgehog once, and that was the PlayStation 2 version. This time it's on GameCube. It's definitely better, but it's still a miserable time. And I went after all the A ranks and expert mode the first time. This time I'm also collecting all of the keys. It's the only one that I'm technically not 100%ing, because otherwise I'd have to play Shadow the Hedgehog 327 times, which I am not prepared to do. So I played it 10 times, and now I'm doing all of the levels separately, and then we'll get to expert mode. So now we've unlocked Adabat. So, we've got a few other missions to do first. Oh, no, I'm going to go straight to Adabat first. I think it's because I wasn't sure how long the part was by the time I edited out everything, so I thought, let's just stop just before I go into the night stage. It turns out this part was actually about 25 minutes long. But in total, this video was about 40 minutes long. I'm going to have to edit out that failure in Arid Sands, but that's only taking out like a minute and a half. Is it Nagi or is it Naji? Nagi sounds like he complains a lot, which he doesn't. I think it's a boy. I'm not sure. I mean, I've failed that twice already, so... Maybe it's a girl. It's specified in the HD version, but I can't remember. So I'm gonna call him or her Naji. And then we have that guy, and we have Rudy. That's just made me realise, though, I never went back to collect the CD. I must do that, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. No, I can. I can go back, because I stopped after doing Jungle Joyride. We can do either Jungle Joyride night, or we can do Arid Sands night at this point. So I can still go back into Adabat and just get the CD. Okay, I'm fine then. If not, I can easily just do like a little cleanup thing. We're going to be doing that sort of thing before Eggman Land and after I finish the story. So once we talk to Rudy's dad, however you pronounce his name, we talk to her. But she tells us to talk to him, who tells us to talk to her, and then she'll explain now. Don't know why we couldn't just do this in the first place, but anyway. And she never puts that basket down. And that includes in the HD version as well. She's always got the basket. Her father is weird in the HD version. He'll be very welcoming to you if you speak to him first. But if you go up and speak to Rudy, he just has like a constant anger on his face. And then if you say, we were just asking directions or whatever, he doesn't believe you. If you choose any of the other options, he doesn't believe you. And he'll stay like that until you leave the area. And then it'll be all fine again until you talk to Rudy again. It's weird. He isn't depressed in the HD version. He's angry. I'll give him that. I mean, even when he's not depressed, he still looks angry here. Just gonna go into the guy gate, but we're not really gonna be. We're not going into the mission here. We've got a few other things to do because I've got a few missions I've unlocked. And I think now we can go into the final door in the Holoska gate. We can't get any, we can only, 3 of these are locked until post-game. Because like I said, you can try and get as many medals as possible before facing Dark Gaia. The final number you can reach in terms of moon medals is 68. Dark Gaia is, at max, the 69th moon medal. And I guess they wanted you to access all of these after finishing the game, so that every single Gaia gate, apart from Apophis, has at least one door that requires 69 moon medals. In this case, 3 of them, and that's the one that requires the most. You will have over 100. If you get every single mission, if you get all of the S ranks for the night stages, and you go into all of the Gaia gates that you can, then I think you can finish the game with about 101, I think it is, some medals. And the highest you need for the Gaia gate, for that Gaia gate, is 99. So it's easy enough to get all of the sun medals. Getting the moon medals, no, you do need to actually defeat Dark Gaia. Which is annoying. I kind of like it if you could just go after everything and then face the final boss. I would prefer it that way, but we can't do that. We have one more door that we can access in Apophis. Even the crawling glitch doesn't apply to this part, though. I can't remember if I did this one in one go or if I died. I think I did this one in one go. So because I've, when it comes to 100%ing the Sonic games, some I am absolutely dreading, either because I've done it before or because I haven't done it before. I've 100%ed Unleashed HD and 06. So far, those two have been the worst. Now, I say 06 is the best of the bad games. I say Unleashed is my favourite 3D game. Not to 100%. Yeah, that's where I messed up. To 100%, it's a completely different story. Unleashed HD is probably the worst game I've ever played to 100%. 06 is close. That was a Sonic. There's some 06 for you right there. 06 was close, but I think Unleashed is worse. Don't go back onto the treadmill. I think this was the room in the test playthrough that I missed. No, it wasn't this. It couldn't have been this. I think it was in Dragon Road somewhere that I missed one. I do get paranoid because there usually ends up being one I'm missing, even though you're supposed to get a notification when that pops up, but I still miss it. I still don't notice it didn't pop up. So it's the what else would it be the first time? Sonic Lost World on 3DS. I'm not looking forward to that. Sonic and the Black Knight. Not really looking forward to that. Forces I've done. Lost World I tried. I got all of the red rings and I got most of the S ranks, but Silent Forest Zone 2. That one is so strict. And I hate so many things in that level, especially when the freaking Rhythm Wisp doesn't work. So that was a miserable time. Eventually I just gave up. I think I collected every other one as well. I don't think I bothered with Sky Road, but it's like I did all of the worlds before it. So all 4 worlds. Windy Hill, Desert Ruins, Tropical Coast, Silent Forest, even Lava Mountain. Didn't bother with Sky Road, and then I gave up with Silent Forest. In fact, I think I did the rest in Silent Forest. I can't really remember. So I'm gonna have to try it again. Not looking forward to Rise of Lyric. Forces, that was... meh. Everything about that game is meh. Even the music is meh. Except Fist Bump. Fist Bump's awesome. And I think that's everything. But it's all going to land on random. So it could be 06 next, it could be Heroes next. Who knows? I'll find out. But there's still the worst of the worst. Trying to 100% Sonic and the Secret Rings. I'm not looking forward to that. Anyway, we've got a new type of mission here. So this is one that... there are a few of these for the Werehog. I think there's 4 in total. So this is Battle Royale. Take on all comers. It's an enemy rush. Somewhat akin, I guess, to like Robot Carnival and Robot Storm from Sonic Heroes, and 06 like had the Boss Rush DLC as well, but that was more boss fights, and then it had like these enemy sections in between. These are quite useful for collecting some more Gaia Force to upgrade yourself. Kind of annoying when a Titan is the last enemy you defeat, which it normally is, and then you're not going to get the Force because it just ends the moment the thing ends. You're going to face 2 Titans here, not at the same time, this time around. The item is at the back. So let's just so yeah, go for the Titan first. The Rex is going to be annoying, but the Titan is worse. Unfortunately, the next Titan doesn't pop up immediately, by which point your Unleashed gauge will have run out. And here is what you... this is the beatdown when you have Unleash mode. Just spin around. I'm pretty sure we had that move in the Incredibles video game, didn't we? So in an attempt to try and get my Unleashed gauge back up again, I tried to take out the Dark Frights first. Bad idea. Ow. You know, Jack, you have a shield. You have a shield, and the Titans and Big Mothers are the only enemy to use it on. It still isn't particularly useful. So I still get bonked in the head. But it does take them out faster. See, I can't get the force from this one because the stage just ends like that. So we have one for Holoska, there's one for Shanann, there's one for Adabat, and there's one for Eggman Land. Oh boy, the Eggman Land one. I don't like that one. I really don't like that one. It's not that hard, it's just so long, so if you fail at the end, you've got to go through all of it all over again. And that is not fun. So now that we've gone through all that, it's time to actually head into Jungle Joyride's night stage. So I will see you guys then.